We have so many stories we tell ourselves about the troubles that we have, and whether it's sharing it with the people that are a witness to our life, or just articulating it, right? We don't want to do that. Like, well, if I talk about it, isn't that just me spending time in it? And the truth is your brain needs to hear things, right?
Mm.
We overthink all the time the bad things. When you are actually writing, when you're talking, you're thinking as slowly as you're saying as you're writing. It
Hmm.
slows things down. It also allows processing. I tell people, like, thinking about it, talking about it, writing it down are three different ways of processing. Your brain has different abilities to do that, and then you metabolize it. I don't know if you've ever told someone that you're, and you can think about this, right? You're like, you go out with a friend and you're like, dude, this sucked. And let me tell you, I had this worst day and this person was awful and I'm so angry, right? Like he was just the worst and it makes me so mad. I don't know if you've ever been to someone and they're like, you kind of sound a little
You
annoyed.
sound negative right now.
You sound like you're doing history on it.
Like, what's the
Yeah.
big deal? And that's kind of what we do to ourselves. When you don't name the thing truly, you
Mm.
don't get the benefit. You try to sell yourself on something else. And guess what happens? You don't feel heard. You don't feel connected. And that emotion stays there. And then you kind of play the riddle of like, oh, well, or what is this person doesn't get me? Or the opposite of like, well, something's wrong with me. The number one thing that dials down in intensity is validation.
Mm.
Validation is from ourselves as well. It's just naming the thing and saying,
Hmm.
no, this is what it really is. And if you've been to someone who's like, hey, I'm really angry, and they're like, I get it. I would be angry too. Not like, oh, let's go fucking blow this shit up, but like, oh, I'm gonna, rage with you. But no, I see you, and that makes sense. Your brain is so desperate to hear that because it's like, hey, I have a signal and this is upsetting. And you're like, hey, I see you enough to name it. And the brain's like, oh, thank God I can be quiet now. I can
Hmm.
cool it down. So talking about that in therapy is so huge. And like, they're like, does talk therapy work? And yeah, it does. You get a space to put it. And especially where people who don't want to about the terrible calls with all the details with their
Mm.
spouse people, right? It's a nice outlet. There's also so
Mm.
many ways to do that so that you stay connected. That people want to know real life experience. What's going on in your day? What it's not any, I don't know about you if you've ever been like, how was your day? It was good. What did you
Hmm.
do? And it's like, no, like tell me about how, like, oh, I got all green lights going to work today. So I was on time for the first time in 2 weeks. I'm so pumped. And then your partner's like, nice, that's awesome. That's so important to you because you're late for everything, right? Like you get more and like, oh no, I had this really rough moment. And if someone's like, yeah, tell me about it. Oh, that does sound rough. It's not that they're fixing it for you. It's already done. It's already happened. But your brain gets the signal of saying like, hey, I can put this down now because I got to talk about it with recognition and validation that that was a real feeling in that moment.